Hey guys, and how's it going? We are on our way to pick a farmhouse barn property that a subscriber had contacted me about that has a bunch of stuff that's been sitting there for a long time. So I haven't been there, I don't know anything about it. He sent me a couple of pictures, a few pieces, but we're also allowed to go kind of walk around and see what we got. If he's okay with turning the camera on, I will go do the same and show you guys what's there and what we can go possibly acquire, make will it runs, or bring back to life, or just use for the shop, or just for viewing in general. So stay tuned. Hey guys, how's it going? This is Paul. Paul invited me to go do a little picking at his place, and this is one of the pieces that he has. And I'm just literally walked up to it 10 seconds ago too, and he's gonna give me the rundown on it. Go for it.
It's one of those two-stroke, starts in reverse, starts in forward, Robin engines. I used to drive it around here. Actually got a speeding ticket in it.
Did you really?
Well, just from Kathy. With her grandson. She's like, you guys slow down. Hence the padding for the young great-grandchild.
What did you guys use this for? Like just like farm go-kart?
Because it's 7 acres, and you know, he put stuff in the back, and he's doing whatever he's doing. It was his little go-getter. I drove it around for a while, but it's just more than it's like, wait a minute. Why am I playing with this? I don't need this.
It's a Mustang.
Yeah. So it is what it is. It's just an old car. I got it running. I thought I was having problems with the oiler, which runs on some kind of concentric down here. It's a really bizarre setup.
Gotcha. So you've had it running, what, a couple of years ago was the last time?
Oh yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
And it was having issues with just, so you were pre-mixing?
I didn't feel it was oiling.
Okay.
So so I was like, wait a minute.
You don't want to blow it up?
It's weird. And I shut it off, and then started again. I'm like, and then I went into that, and I went, you know what?
It sounded like it was getting tight. In other words, then it was like kind of bogging down, like. So you thought it was no lube and.
Yeah, it just, it didn't start right and whatnot, and.
Okay.
And then I put two-stroke. I put mix in it, and it ran. It might even have a little mix in it, because everybody said, that I could find on the internet said, you do this, that. Don't even worry about the injection pump. And then I'm like, I don't know.
Well, that's good, because if it was perfect, it would be no fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think there's some pieces, parts in there. There's like everything running around here. Who knows what it is? But it is cool.
Yeah.
Because it starts in reverse and starts in forward. And once it gets going, it'll probably do 30 maybe.
Awesome.
And
I like the hard cab on it too. That gives it a.
Oh yeah, and the deal, I couldn't. It's hard to work on it because I think he welded this on.
Yeah.
So it's hard. I was thinking about cutting a hatch in it so you can get to this side of the motor. Just in the,
What make is it? Easy Go? What's
Easy Go, yeah. Easy Go. I have no idea what year. It probably has a.
What would you think? It kind of looks like 70s to me.
GX. As with anything, it's master of Google of all. What do we got here? Textron. Easy Go Textron. It looks like GX 800.
So back in this little boat shed, what'd you call this building?
The A-frame? We used to call it the A-frame. I don't know. Is it kind of a boat shed?
This steam washer, steam cleaner, it's been sitting here for a day or two.
Oh, yeah, at least.
Yeah. Have you ever had this running?
I might have 10 years ago, just to see if I think I fired it up. Fuel oil or whatever. I've used one of them before. I'm not sure if it was this one.
Yeah, somebody moved in.
If you had a place on the concrete to put it and you fired it up in the wintertime, it'd be a blast to take the snow off your...
Right? I wonder if we used like some kind of gun? What was the...
It's right there, on top.
Oh, okay.
There it is.
Gotcha.
It looks like a welding torch or something,
right?
you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't have any small orifice in it.
Yeah, but it's steam. The whole
It's
idea is
hot,
just,
yeah.
yeah, just to get grease and stuff up the temperature where it releases like you're cleaning an engine bay or something.
Yeah.
Neat.
Very cool. Been in my way a long time. I don't know how many times I've moved it. I'm never using this thing ever. Her daughter says, I'm buying a motorcycle. Well, she buys this thing. We're like, don't bring it over. Came back from Florida, it was in the basement. Nothing's ever happened to it. She took a couple of parts off of it, went out and bought another motorcycle. Couldn't get the title or something for it. Some old guy had it. I don't know what the deal is. I'm like,
You said it's a Honda-matic, right? So there's no clutch.
see, Honda-matic.
Yeah, I think you still shift gears, but you don't have a clutch. You just got a torque converter. Yeah, master cylinders missing, and throttle.
I think that piece is laying around somewhere.
The master?
I would know. There you
Oh.
go.
Got low compression.
Yeah.
That might be an issue.
There's a new battery for it.
Might have electric start in it somewhere too.
Yeah, there's a new battery for it.
Does it have a... Is that a horn button or a start button? Horn. Maybe not. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's got electric start.
Oh.
Critters.
Somebody's been living there.
Moving day.
So I don't. Oh, look at that! You even got a toolkit.
I'm gonna guess early 80s.
81. It's just right up on the.
There you go.
So anyway, instead of doing anything with it, I moved it a couple of times.
That'd be a good engine for a project if it doesn't go back together as a bike. The fact that it doesn't have a clutch and all.
Lawnmower.
Yeah, right.
Wow. It's automatic, so.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's good and it's electric start. So you don't have to worry, you know, wherever you see a go-kart or something, you can just sit in the front, hit a button, fire it up. You don't have to get out, kick it and go.
That's ambitious.
That's carbureted, so it's really not very complicated. I'm sure Spark probably has a early style.
Short-lived. Is it something desirable about them because of some movie or
Oh yeah?
The Prince.
Is that what it was? Because
Purple Rain. This is the bike.
It was a Honda-matic?
Yeah.
Got her out in the daylight now. You can kind of see what we got.
There's a jewel.
That's cool.
Certainly some kind of running light.
For a boat.
Flashlight.
I think I'm out of range. Try to steer it all the way to this way so that the rear is, there you go. So you think it came possibly from down the road at
I really don't know.
Good guess,
but-
we could have fun.
Yeah, well, it's a guess. But it may have come out of the old leather board, which was an old factory, water powered factory down on the Squannacook in the center of West Groton. And that's what they made they made board out of pressed leather.
Huh.
And it's been out of business for a long time. It's now an assisted living that they refurbished the old mill, but
And they had a bunch of gas powered just for maybe with
They-
water wasn't
they had, yeah, they might have had backups for that. I don't know.
cool.
I don't know.
Hey guys, how's it going? We got the buggy back to the shop and My goal is to get it to run, drive, and stop, and be able to do that, you know, repeatedly, not just to fire up on a little gas bottle and getting it to run. It's a 2-stroke. It starts up forward and backwards for forward and reverse. Easy go. My guess is probably like the mid 70s by the looks of it, the style of it. Again, I don't know. I'm just kind of guessing on that. So we don't have too much of a history on it. He said he had it running at one point and it was having run issues and thought it was possibly 2-stroke oil delivery. Seemed like it ran better when it got more 2-stroke. So I'm a little cautious, hoping that the top end of the engine isn't on its way out, but you know, that's what we're here for, to go figure it out. So I'm gonna give it a couple of seconds, just get that seat popped up out of there, maybe get a little bit of lighting, and we'll start getting into it. So I never worked on one of these before, but I guess now's the time, and you and I can kind of go through it together and we'll figure it out for the most part. I'm gonna pick out some observations that I see right now, and just to verify in my head and then in your head kind of what is doing what. We'll go from there. So it's a 2-stroke engine, and it starts forward and reverse. Here's the starter up here, and it's got 2 posts on it, and probably what I figured, that just changes polarity. This is positive and then negative, and if they want to start the engine the other way around, it goes the other way around. They swap them, and it looks like it has a switch right over here that does that. I see like 5 wires going to it, and I'm sure there's 2 in, 2 out, and 1 at ground, and that's probably the lever of it. Maybe you start it one direction and then the other, and then I also see what looks like a marine kill switch, this one right here. That might just be power to the whole thing, I'm not sure. I would think that would be a choke. Doesn't feel like it's doing anything. We'll see. Got brake and a lock 2-piece pedal, throttle cable, throttle rather. I'm not sure if there's anything on the dash that does anything. I think it's all done with the pedals. I'm not sure if you flip the lever or if you push a pedal all the way down and it fires it up. I've seen a couple of different setups. Here's a solenoid right here, so that's going to get a signal from somewhere to go tell it to fire over. Anything else you could see? 2-stroke oil, looks like it's here. Gas tank is right below us. And we have an oil pump on the front of the motor right there. That, I don't know why it's got a filter on the oil. It's got that going up, and that probably goes right to the intake or the carb to put 2-stroke oil into the mix. Air filter. That's about the whole rundown. Access doesn't look very good. The engine's all tucked underneath that tin. Possibly we can maybe cut into the floor, make a little access panel if we have to. But let's go see what we got. Let's go, for now, let's go grab a battery jumper pack, put it on the leads, and see if anything comes alive. Just as soon as I put power to it, it takes off and goes shooting through my toolbox. Okay, so I would say that's power on. I don't know if this is gonna. Let's go just pick one direction and we go hit that gas pedal down and see if it. Yeah, that's what it's gonna do. Sounds a little clanky, huh? Let's go the other way. But it does something. That's good. I want to try to get to the plug and see if we have spark. Let me go figure out where that is and we'll go check for spark. And that is tucked right down there. We get the plug wire off. I'll just shove another plug in it, leave that one there. I turn the light off inside. Let's see if that helps us. It's got excellent spark. Awesome. I wonder, like, if you put it in straight up, what do you get? Nothing. All right. And it's got spark both directions. I would think it would kind of bump the timing one direction and the other too. I think we should probably see about getting fuel to it. If not down the plug hole, we could actually get into the carb and give some fuel. Let me go take a peek and see what it takes to get into that. I know it's a little dark but this is looking under from the back side of the bed. You see the torque converter, a belt going up to the generator starter, rear end, and that carb and the fuel filter is right there. I think for just even in the future, it's a good idea maybe we cut an access panel in the top of that bed just so that we have more ease on working on it, and it'll help in the future too. You know, probably the owner that had it before didn't have that capacity for cutting metal, but I do. It'll make short work of it. Let's go cut a little access panel out, and it'll probably be better for viewing for video purposes too. Let's go see what we can see. Fuel pump. Looks like it's leaking too, or you know what it is, the fuel line above it's leaking. A little. Carb's right there. Throttle cable. I don't know what that is. Choke. That's choke right there. Actually, what is that? That goes to it. So it must have like a governor that pops out of the torque converter and pushes on it and backs the throttle back off. It's like somebody adjusted it way out too, so the governor's out of play. Well, we can either get to that float bowl, which does not look easy, or we would just try to get that whole carburetor right off of there. I see 4 here. There's probably a reed valve underneath there, and then I see 1, 2. I don't see those being terribly easy either. Let's get the intake boot off, fuel line off, and probably those cables. We gotta get those cables off of there. I'm leery about that because if they're flared out like that one, you're not going to get the barrel back over it again. All right, let me see what I can do. Let's see if we can get that out of there and give it some love. I see an ID tag down there. This is just soap and water. Let's see if we can get it cleaned off, or we can kind of know what we're working with. It's like 240 cc's. What's the engine? Roper? All right, back to the carburetor. We gotta take the fuel lines off anyway. Let's go take that fuel line off of there and dribble a little bit of gas down it. Let's see if it'll come off. Let's go fill this up with gas right here and see if it'll kick over for us. And I want to listen to it real quick. Playing around with that on both of that side. This side's not even connected, so we already had it off. That's okay. Let's go see if we can get some gas in it. Yeah, we could fill that float bowl up. It's going. We could fill that float bowl up. It should be enough to run it for 30 seconds or so. That was about it. All right, go put the plug wire back on it. Give it a fire, see what it does. Let's see what we get. And let's give her some choke too, I guess. Nothing. And the plug wire is on, so I should have kicked. Let's go pop that plug out of there. Hopefully it has enough compression to run. That's what my concern is right now. Got the plug out of it. Doesn't look great. It's got a lot of crap down around the sides of the insulation. Let's go see if we throw a compression test gauge in there. We'll see what we got for a number. Yeah, so a lot of credit on that side right there. And let's see what we get. I'm gonna hold it right down to full throttle. Choke off. It is. That is maxing out at not good. 60 is pretty low. It may have some issues. All right. Let's go throw some fuel oil in the plug hole. We'll fire that up and see if it kicks off with that. Put that plug on a wire wheel. Let's go see if it has any spark. So as soon as you let off the pedal, it kills spark. So that's, I guess you shut off, you let off the pedal and it just shuts the machine off. And I hit you in the head, sorry. Let's see if we can get in the... A little bit of that. Thread that plug back in. And hopefully it fires off like that, because there's a chance that that carburetor is so bad that just nothing is going through. Or there's a chance that the engine's just so tired doesn't have enough compression for it to fire. Hoping for the first one. Let's give her. Come on. I heard a chug. It fired. I don't know if it started to run off the fuel that was in the carb too. I'm not sure. I'm gonna give it some choke. That's full choke. Let's give it a little less. Can't even tell if that cable's moving for the choke. All right. Well, it did run. I just think our issues hopefully are just everything inside the carburetor, and maybe that compression number will come up after it runs a little bit. Get back to getting that carb off of there. Well, I'm sure glad I cut that access hole, because that was a pain in the ass. I had to cut the cables that were going to it. One of the barrel nuts I had to actually cut with a whiz wheel and split it in half, crack it off of the cable. I saved the cable though. They were just not having it. All right, let's go in. Let's see. Now I dumped fuel in here, so I suspect that we should see some. Not terrible. To be honest, I expected to see worse, because this looks like it has not been off in forever. Let's keep going. Want to get float out of it. Set this up a little tray. That's the main jack going up. I can't see through that yet, but that may be clogged. It's looking pretty. Those side holes where it comes in. Yeah, it looks like it's got. Yeah, that one definitely got some clogging going on. That may be why it wouldn't soak up any fuel. Just needle out of it. So we got a jet down the center. I got one there. That's the thing with anything carbureted that's been around for a long time. It almost comes to the point where you just know you got to go take it apart. Hard to say on that one. And we can get the bell off of there. And we got to get the main one out yet too. So let's go get that out of there. Take this just out of our way, just for better cleaning. And I wonder if we could pick the O-ring out of it. So it doesn't get damaged in the soak. All depends on how well it's in there. I do not have one, so yeah, we're gonna leave it alone. We're gonna leave it alone because we're gonna do more damage trying to remove it. Right, get that off and get the center off. I'll bring you right back. There it goes. Got some crap on the side there, so it definitely got past it. Again, these ports all need to be open too. And it looks like there is definitely some dirt in that. And here's that nut that I cut in the cable holder. That's what it looked like. It has a set screw in the side that you take out and it pinches the cable. And I tried to get an Allen wrench in there. Wasn't having it. I actually had to go slice it right down the center of the barrel, right down the center of the nut, and then crack it off, and I didn't damage the cable. Proud of myself. All right, we got one more to go take apart right here. See if we can get that one out. And if we can't see through that, that means it was getting no fuel. I can see a little daylight through it. I can't see a wisp of light through that one. All right. All these parts are going to go into ultrasonic cleaner. Get a bath. Well, that carb is soaking. I figure maybe we'll go try another compression test with the carburetor off of there. And it did spin a little bit, so that might have improved it. Maybe not, though. It's holding the, yeah, maybe a little better. 70, 71 pounds, still not great. If I saw 100, 90 or 100, I'd be happy. Not that so happy. A bore scope down there, that's the top of the piston. It's definitely got some crudiness, and that's the cylinder wall. It kind of looks like there's a ridge. If you top left hand part of the screen, you can see the ridge, and then right dead center almost, you can see a scratch going right up and down, right there. That's the wall. There's the gap. There's the port. That's where fuel comes in. But look at the crap on the top of that piston, all the carbon and everything. So it's hard to. No, that was sliding down on us. Hold on. Yeah, it's a little on the dark side. I wish it was. I can brighten it up a little bit. Let me see if I can open. Yeah, that's pretty clean. That looks like there's a scar right there. I know it's hard to see from camera to. There's a cylinder wall. I see a decent amount of scoring there. Right there's the big one. That's what I was seeing. Right in the middle of the ports there, like the rings took some damage. Oh well, it is what it is, right? Well, so we'll put that carburetor back together. If it runs and idles, so be it. But if it doesn't want to idle and that doesn't make any power, it's not making any power because of that reason, just because there's no compression to make power. Let's go see what happens. All right, let's get her put back together after its little time in the bath. So we have the main, where's the main? And it had its jet threaded down in the center of that. Oh, my fingers. Fingers don't want to work. Blew that up. I'm going to take a wire. I want to pop a wire through this little... Yeah, it's just to pull a bristle down on a wire brush. Make sure they're clear. It looked pretty good, but if I didn't do it and later on I had a problem, I would say that was it, even if it wasn't it. So that way you can feel just a little bit more confident that I did actually physically run something through those passages. The big ones on the end, I could see those are clear. Just give them a little puff of air. All right, let me throw that in. Pop the air off so the compressor doesn't kick on. I'll run that one down. And I need the right screwdriver. One that fits nice and tight. We have, this one's idle. It's a much finer one. That one I already ran the wire wheel through it. Wire bristle through it. And didn't idle, that'd be the one to go blame. And we have the needle. I did not soak the needle. It looked real clean, and again, it's the surface that is on it is fairly susceptible. Is that a word? Susceptible to chemicals. So unless it really needs it, I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to go blow through that port real quick. And when it's upside down to float, to make sure no air can flow through it. When I flip it over, it should have air flowing through it. Nothing. I can blow through it. And this one is a very simple one. It doesn't even have a external air fuel mix. Kind of wish it did, but it doesn't. So that's all she's got. I think the only thing it has is an external idle speed. Yeah, just an idle speed right there on that stop. It's a choke. It's a throttle. I think we are good to go. Put that back on. Actually, you gotta probably should clean the air cleaner bezel and get that on there too. I know it's a little dark, but we got the carb back on. We got the choke cable hooked up, and this is the governor one. I left that off for now. Throttle. These two are throttle. I think it might be a push-pull cable. I'm not sure quite how that's set up. Fuel. I didn't hook up the fuel tank or the fuel pump. I'm just gonna have a gravity feed line coming down from here. We'll fill the float bowl with that. Again, it's just enough to run it for 30 seconds or so, or a minute, just to do an assessment of what we got. I just have that clamped to the side of the cab. Probably should clamp it a little bit better, huh? I don't want to pinch it though. Yeah, we'll go with that. There we go. I'm going to fill that up. This is a premix. And we are now full to the top. That's good right there. That should be more than enough to run it. Let's see how it does. Back you up a little bit on this one. Hopefully it doesn't start up, run full throttle, and shoot my dollies out. But if so, I hope you catch it on video. Power on. Choke. Give it some choke. Seems to run a little bit of choke, seems to get her to go. It is definitely going to want to shoot those dollies out. Let's get up on a floor jack so the tires are in the air. Just a tad smoky in here. It's all that 2-stroke oil. All right, it's up off there. The wheels can spin now. The thing that kind of sucks is as soon as you let off the pedal, it kills sparks, so it's kind of hard to tell if it can idle or not. And then you let off so much of the pedal, but the generator is still kind of cranking. So I'm gonna go give it some choke. We'll let it run, let it rev a little bit, and get a better feel for it. Possibly maybe we could bypass that. Let's go see what it does. Choke. Choke's off. She's a tad rich with smoke, don't you think? I had to go air us out. Yeah, good old 2-stroke. The thing is too, I wonder if that oiler is even working. It might be injecting more oil on top of that. Hard to say. Let's go put it in forward. That was reverse. And it may be throttled a little different. So that should be forward. Let's go reset you up in the stand, refill fuel. We'll run it a little bit more and see how it sounds. It seemed like it was getting better. I had the choke all the way off on the end there. Round 2 and forward. Go choke. Yeah, fire it up without using the choke. Fire it up is literal. See how she does. I don't know if I'm still got enough gas in it. I would say that must have used up all the rest of the gas. Yeah, that might be an issue. Clearing out pretty good. Actually, where we're standing, it's not too bad. The fresh air comes in from behind us and exits out over, again, that shadow over there. I say we pull the plug out one more time. Let's do one more compression test on it, and we'll see what it did after it ran a little bit. Okay, one last time. Let's give her a fire, see what we get. Yeah, it's like, okay, not even 70. Went down even a little. That's not so good. Well, guys, I think we've cleaned the smoke out of it. The exhaust is definitely not going to rust. And that's kind of what I was afraid of. It's just got so low of a compression that the engine just worn and tired. Although it does run and start off the key, I just don't think it's going to make much power to be useful in, you know, pretty much anywhere besides flat ground. I may go hook a temporary gas tank up to it and we'll try it. But I'm not that crazy with when you hit the pedal, it's very lethargic as far as the RPMs coming up. And you know, once you put a load on the wheels, I have a feeling that that's even going to be that much worse. And that's pretty much why I was taken out of service. He was having problems with it power wise, and once he said that, I kind of suspected that the motor's just kind of wore down. I'm gonna go price how much it is for, you know, rings and piston, possibly the cylinder. Without taking it apart, it's kind of hard to say what they are, what condition they are in. It'd be nice if you just get, you know, by with a head gasket and a set of rings, but generally it's the exception rather than the rule. Did spit out a bunch of crap out of the exhaust. I think some mice were living in there, huh? But I had some fun. Got to go play with it. You know, if it had a regular transmission that had forward and reverse in it, it'd be nice to do an engine swap into something a little bit more modern, a little bit more simple to go with. You know, like a nice little 4-stroke twin or something. But the fact that you start the engine forward and reverse kind of takes that out of the picture. So I'm in it for $200. I don't know how much more I want to spend on it. What's this thing worth altogether? $500 up and running? 600? All depends on how much you clean it up, and you know. So it's kind of hard to recover. Kind of hoping to use it. I was thinking about leaving it at the camp and just kind of use it for running around the trails. But I don't think it's going to have enough balls even just to go, you know, pull a slight hill. Maybe we'll go find out though. We'll put some gas, maybe hang a gas tank on it and try running it. But we'll see. For now, I'm going to go jack it up for tonight and call it quits. I got to the point of the assessment that I wanted to, at least. Wanted to have a little bit better resolution as far as an outcome, but they are what they are, right? All right, guys, with that, I'm going to sign off. Thanks for hanging out with me, wrenching, cutting, have a little bit of fun with old rusty junk. I'll see you soon on the next one. Later. Bye. The other direction might be right straight up towards you, too. Let's go see how it wiggles around inside there. Once we get it out, we can probably get the clutch off, so when I put it back in, it might be a little easier. Oh yeah. Nice. I got more. Calm down. Who wants that one?